Yeah, they're playing with Watson too. Gross. Yo, there's a raid. Oh my god.
What's going on, guys? So I make this video almost every season, mainly because it's just so requested. Not even really because I think I need to be making it, but it just gets better and better and more informational every time. So in this video, I'm going to show you guys my classic and ALC settings for season 14, and hopefully at the end of the video, you guys will have learned something. Alright, so heading into the settings here, our interact prompt style is going to be on compact, button hints is going to be off, crosshair damage feedback is going to be off, damage numbers is going to be on stacking, ping opacity is going to be faded, obituaries on, minimap rotation off, weapon auto cycle on empty on, auto sprints on, double tap sprints off, jetpack control, this is for you Valk mains, and we're going to have this on hold, incoming damage feedback on 3D, taking damage closest death box or crafting menu, I have this off. Hop up, pop up, off, shimmer mode, and then the rest, basically the rest of these are just all preference, except for the reticle and laser sights. For reticle, I do play on a green reticle, and that is because it is the easiest to see for our eyes. And so for laser sight, I have that as just the standard one, but you know, if you wanted to put this on green, you can as well. For the accessibility, I do play on Tritanopia colorblind mode. It just makes the game look a little bit more vibrant, and that's just how I like to play the game. I'd recommend trying all of these colorblind modes to find the one that works best for you, but I do like playing on Tritanopia. Skipping over the mouse and keyboard settings, we're going to move on to the controller tab, and for button layout, I do play on a default button layout. I know a lot of people like playing on bumper jumper or button puncher, but default seems to work the best for me. Moving on to stick layout, I do obviously play on default. Interact reload button, I use tap to use and reload. Crouch button on toggle, aim button hold, survival slot button off, and then the trigger dead zones, we want to have these on 0. That will be the most consistent for our aim. For menu cursor speed, I recommend having your menu cursor speed towards kind of the bottom here. Having a little bit too high can be really hard to control, but once again, if you're able to control that super high speed, I'd put it up there. It's really just all preference. And then obviously we have ALC enabled, but I actually do play on a 4:4 sensitivity. A lot of you asked for my sensitivity, and this is exactly what it is. I do play on 4:4 classic. Look dead zone is going to be on none. On PC, Classic Sense is a cheat code. It is absolutely broken. It has the highest aim assist by far. At least it feels that way. And if you're on PC, even if you're on console as well, I'd honestly recommend using classic settings. All these people will tell you that ALC is the best, and I do make ALC videos because people ask, but Classic Sense is by far the best. You want to keep it on 4:4 or 3:4 in my opinion. 5:4 works just as well, but honestly anything higher than that is awful, and never have your settings on 8 because you won't get aim assist. But yeah, 4:4 works the best for me. I don't use propic settings at all, and yeah, so moving on to the movement dead zone, I do play on a small. For inverted look, it's going to be off. Vibration, I have this off. And then moving on to the advanced look controls, or ALC. I actually created these ALCs about a week ago for a video I did on how to craft your best ALC settings, and I'll leave a link to that in the description if you want to check that out. Basically, I show you what each of these little icons does and what each thing does and how to craft your perfect ALC settings. So if you want to check that out, there is a link to that in the description. But these are the settings I made for that video, and I honestly really like them. I actually realized I was using them for about a day, and I was absolutely frying that day. So if you want to try these out, the dead zone's at 0 or 5, depending on how much stick drift you have. So I keep these on 0 mainly because I am playing with the classic response curve. But dead zone's gonna be at 0% out of threshold 1, response curve 10. No propic settings on this. You can just keep these off. Yaw speed is gonna be 300, pitch speed 300, turning extra yaw 0, turning extra pitch 0, turning ramp up time 0, turning ramp up delay 0, ADS yaw speed at 130, ADS pitch speed at 130. turning extra yaw 0, extra pitch 0, ramp up time 0, and ramp up delay 0. And then for target compensation, you want to have both of these on. These are going to be your aim assist for melee and for aiming. And then if you're on PC, for the video settings, I do play on full screen. Your aspect ratio should be native. I mean, you can play stretch res if you'd like, which is 16:10, but I do think native is the best. The resolution is going to be 1920x1080 if you're playing on native. Then for brightness, I do play on an 80% brightness, and then for the field of view, I play on 110. For FOV ability scaling, I have this disabled. Sprint view shake is minimal, and then for the advanced video settings, your RBC is going to be disabled. If you have access to NVIDIA Reflex, I'd recommend having this on enabled plus boost. And then for the adaptive resolution FPS target, you have this on 0. For anti-aliasing, none. Texture streaming budget, none. Texture filtering, bilinear, ambient occlusion quality, high, or 0, depending on whatever works best for you. This is really, all these settings here should be low or disabled, and that's because we're playing on an FPS game. On FPS games, you want to have the highest FPS, which is frames per second, and so that's why we want to have everything disabled to achieve the highest FPS. Even if you're on 130 on PC, or even if you're on 270, you want to have all this turned off because it'll just improve the performance of your game. And then moving on to the audio, if anyone wants to take a look at these are the audio settings I use, but I mean, these are pretty much going to be specific to your PC, so I wouldn't just copy mine necessarily. But I would recommend changing the dialogue volume to 18%. Same with the music volume and lobby music volume. That's because you want to be able to hear your game as best as possible, and having your dialogue volume too high might prevent that a little bit. But those are the settings. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If I was able to show you guys, or you guys learned anything new, a sub would be greatly appreciated. And other than that, I will see you guys in the next one. Peace.